Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo and you're watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. Like an answer to the question, Chris, why aren't you a father yet? Didn't you say yesterday that you were going into the hospital to become a father? Yeah, that's what I said, pretty much, in a very brief non-TLDR TLDR. I was, I guess, a little early in the announcement of a birth of baby Pirillo. Diana is still pregnant, and I'm assuming that you follow me beyond YouTube. Of course, I've been providing a flurry of updates in my various social channels, and I assume that you're following me there, so you kind of already know that it didn't necessarily happen last night, but we are setting the stage for it to happen tonight. Diana is healthy, the baby is healthy, and effectively we're in week 41, 42, like a day or so away from week 42 beginning, so we're having to induce. This is a normal thing to have happen. We're not expecting any amount of complications, but of course, you never know what's going to happen. Still, the health professionals who have been helping us all along have been very, very supportive, and I really can't tell you there's been any other issue apart from Diana's body or the baby's body not wanting to leave each other alone. I'm not saying they've become codependent or anything. I'm just saying that now would be the time. So we're kind of serving a virtual eviction notice to the baby. This is where I'm going to be tonight. We're going in this evening, and yes, I will be updating people online if you actually care, and I know some people do. Some people have been following it very closely with the vlogs and the classic YouTube channel. Of course, we'll be vlogging most of the experience, and you'll be able to watch that story as it unfolds. So here's the thing. As most of our community, or at least those who want a new iPhone, as they are ordering the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6 Plus tonight at midnight Pacific, that's right around the time that we're really going to begin the process of labor with Diana, or at least we're hoping that things are going to start kicking around, or kicking the baby out by then, or at least beginning that. So just think of that. As people are getting their iPhones, we're getting our own little prize. Not really prize. That's the wrong word. We're getting our own one more thing. Yeah, that's right. I just called our baby one more thing. But I'm trying to be cute with it, right? We ordered this product 9 months ago, and it's finally shipping tonight, we hope. So thanks, everybody, for your support, as I will not be able to order a new iPhone tonight. I'm hoping to get my hands on one on launch day. I don't know if that's going to happen yet. I'm trying to make things happen, but I can't do it the same way that I've done it in years past, because it's not as simple. I mean, it's going to, number one, be costly. Number two, I have to be able to get it. So I've got a few hurdles in front of me, and I will say this, that the baby is going to trump anything that I do in business. It's just the way it's going to be. Family comes first. And I'm very, very conscious of today being September 11th, and it is a possibility that our baby will be born on September 11th. There are people in our community who are celebrating their birthday today on September 11th. And as much as I'm very, very not forgetful about what had happened on September 11, 2001, I do know that there are many, many things we can celebrate on this day, and having a life that continues to roll forward with freedom in hand. And it's not, you're just kind of caught in the middle, right? You can't really pin it on a day. Your freedom is 365 days a year, and I don't want to take away from the value of somebody else's birthday because it happens to fall on a day that is unfortunately synonymous with rather nefarious acts. So either way, as I had already shared on social, I am very, very I'm somber because it is September 11th, but at the same time that somberness has almost been tempered by this potential glimmer of joy that's now in my life. And so I'm right in between. I'm certainly, I understand and I respect and appreciate those who want to use this as a day of mourning, but there are other people out there who want to and see this as a day of joy. And so I'm right in the middle. I understand and value each side. So I'm both mournful for what had happened. I'd mourn any death, no matter how many deaths happened on one site or in one day, as I would, any other day of the year. So I'm right in between. And I don't have to be one or the other. I can be both joyful and sorrowful at the same time. I'm a human being. I'm a complex creature. So just wanted to kind of put those things out there. I realize that there are people who are on both sides of the fence. And I'm pretty sure those people who celebrate days of joy today would appreciate that, because usually they're just surrounded with a bunch of sadness. And I can't think of wanting to spend one more day feeling sad. It's important to be reverent and respectful, but at the same time, we're alive, and we have these freedoms, and we can have joy in our life and spread joy. So, that's where I sit today. Let me go ahead and thank the 931 Super Nomies. They're making this particular broadcast possible, which I admit has not been very geeky to this point, apart from talking about the iPhone launch tonight. Are you guys and gals out there, you getting an iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus? I've decided that I'm just going to get whatever one at this point is first available, that first comes to me, and I'm going to work pretty hard to try to get my hands on one. But the problem is that I know they're going to sell out quickly, and I'm not going to be able to get one. Probably launch day. It's probably not going to happen, and it's a bit disappointing for me. But baby, so if you're going to ask, and I know people are going to ask, and I know people who are not watching this broadcast are going to continue to ask me, are you getting an iPhone? Are you getting an iPhone? The answer is yes. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know where. That's the answer. I'm not frustrated. What I'm frustrated by is answering the question only to know that I'm going to be asked 17 million times, even tonight, after people realize that I'm giving birth to a child, or next to the woman giving birth. I'm not giving birth. I'm just there with the woman giving birth to the child. That takes precedence. A lot of stuff, really, to share with everybody. I'm very glad many people tuned in during my live announcements, or I guess feedback of the announcements during Apple's announcements the other day, 2 days ago. Even though Apple ran into a few problems with their live stream. I'm kind of disappointed about that. And I had to explain this too. My parents were in the room, and we've got a special relationship. We kind of, we quip back and forth, and, I'm trying to handle a live stream and, manage all these things. And it sounded like I was really bitey with my parents. Like, you don't realize, if you've never, been around an Italian family, you just don't understand how yelly we can get with each other. And it doesn't mean anything. So some people thought that I was being disrespectful. I'm like, no, I was just being direct. I'm like, this is what it is. I think Dad was saying, well, why would they not put the GPS in the Apple Watch? And I was trying to explain to him, like, it wouldn't make any sense, because battery life, because they expect you at this point to tether your watch to an iPhone. So if they can save space, if they save battery, they've made a more complete product in an iWatch for what it is going to be. I'm sorry, Apple Watch. It's not the iWatch. And even though I think Apple wanted to call it an iWatch, they seem to be getting away from that. Now they got Apple Pay. Now they have Apple Watch. I don't know if I, as an Apple brand, is going to be around for long. Perhaps the next the next iPhone will be called Apple Phone. That wouldn't surprise me. Look at Apple Pay, Apple Watch. Makes sense. Apple Pad, Apple Phone, Apple this, Apple that, Apple the other thing. By the way, the name of Baby Pirillo will not be Apple. It's just not going to happen. I'll go this far. Technology has nothing to do with the name of Baby Pirillo. Nothing. Oh, and it's not going to be Luke. It's not going to be Leia. I know that was very disappointing for some people to hear, but that's true. If you want an iPhone 6 and you don't want to line up, you don't want to pay for it, we're giving one away. Deals.lockergnome.com is where you can swing into to pick up your own iPhone if you want, and you can get your own, but I'm saying we are giving an iPhone 6 away. We also found out that through go.tagjag.com, I'm charging my phone right now, trying to get it charged up for this evening. The go.tagjag.com/free. Free points. Use my link. You get referrals. I get the referral credit. You get more points. Go.tagjag.com/free points. Links in this video description. They're giving away a series of. I'm unplugging it. I need to remind me. I need to plug this back in. Yeah. Siri, I did not want you. Hang on. I'm gonna show you how many entries I have to the iPhone, or at least I gotta look up. Maybe this is how I'm gonna get my iPhone 6, because they're giving away a number of them, and you get your entry basically is the. Is using the app. So let's see here. Is this what I have to use? Let's find out. Because you get, so I'm loading up the website, go.tagjag.com/free points, iPhone 6 giveaway. As soon as the website loads. Oh, it doesn't say right up front? I thought it did. I thought it would. Oh. Okay, well, I know it's there. I thought I had like several entries. Maybe that's already done. Did they already give away the iPhone? Apparently I didn't get it through them. So, iPhone 6 giveaways all around. Yelp now has court permission to change business ratings for money. So if you use Yelp, you should keep that in mind. Yelp, it's a possibility that they can now change business ratings for money, which means that if a business isn't liking its Yelp review, it can pay for a change. And the courts are okay with that. Are you okay with that? Just something to keep in mind if you rely on Yelp. This is a slightly older Intel Android tablet, the Asus MemoPad FHD 10. I believe I unboxed it earlier this year and have used it in the house. It's here somewhere. The reason why I have this out, the reason why this one's still in the cellophane wrapper is because I'm going to be giving this one to my dad. My dad does not have an Android tablet. This will be his first Android tablet ever, and I thought what would be kind of fun in today's Q&A with you and me, you know, the separate video I do 5 of them every week. 4 of them are exclusive to the Supernomies, and then 1 of them everybody gets to see. This today's exclusive video, because this is just how it lands on this day, is going to be my dad live unboxing and using an Android tablet for the first time. So if you want to know what that is, if you want to know how that goes, well, one way to find out, you can become one of the Supernomies. Really easy to do. Nomies.com for more information. IDG. Now, with full disclosure, I've worked with IDG in the past and likely will continue to as an independent, but they're basically shuttering Macworld Magazine. Much of the editorial staff has been let go. This happened yesterday, which was kind of a shock, right on the heels of all these Apple announcements. Macworld is been there, but I got to tell you, in terms of where I turn for news or even perspective, I can't tell you that Macworld has necessarily been #1 in recent years. It's given way to a variety of bloggers, not necessarily vloggers. There's really no good. I mean, there are a lot of good ones, but no definitive Mac or Apple vlogger out there today, and I don't want to become that. There's many things that I want to enjoy in life that just have nothing to do with Apple. It may be a part of the geek lifestyle, but either way, Macworld's kind of, I mean, it's not really fully going away, but in terms of what it was to a lot of people, it's pretty much gone. A lot of the writers and editorial staff have begun to move on. Some are going full independent, and I wish them best of luck. I will be following many of them if they've produced good things over the years, but that's something you may want to make note of as well. IDG is basically, I think they're pushing Macworld out to pasture. Kind of, it's sad, but at the same time not surprising to me, because I mean, think about how you get your information, your value from taking in new stuff in the world, or the world that surrounds Apple. Not necessarily the what do they call it? The bubble, or the what is it? The reality distortion field, the RDF around Apple. I guess I would believe that it just goes without saying that a lot of those types of publications are just going to disappear. And I think that's just the beginning. I think a lot more of those classic publications that you've known and trusted are just going to kind of go the way of the dodo, which is very unfortunate. Another product view. This is kind of neat. Also, a bit of news today from Google. This is our only Chromebook at this point in time. It's a slightly older Samsung Chromebook. I couldn't even tell you the model number. Hang on. I will tell you as soon as I look. That's not the model number. I don't know. It's a Chromebook, I can tell you that. I got it in October 2012, or at least that's the date on the bottom. This app, I'm running Chrome OS on this particular Chromebook, but this app is an Android app. It's the Vine Android app that is running on top of Chrome OS. Google has released 4 Android apps on Chrome OS. You can get it through the Chrome Web Store, which is just genius. Just the beginning, Apple. Google will continue to port over a lot of Android apps to Chrome OS, and I think it's a great move because you've got so many, how many millions, if not almost billions, not billions yet, of Android users out there don't have Chromebooks. Well, it would be easier to make the leap if you had an Android app that would run effectively on a Chromebook, which admittedly is not the same type of experience as an Android device or a traditional Android device like a smartphone. Like, let's say, something from Google. But the fact that they're porting over these Android apps to Chrome OS, that's kind of, to me, that's exciting. It really is kind of neat. I like the idea. I really do, and I think it's very, very smart for Google to do. It's a great gateway mechanism if you have a Chromebook to leap from a Chromebook to an Android device outright, and vice versa. If you have an Android device and you want those types of apps on more of a traditional computer, like a laptop, like a Chromebook, or a traditional desktop machine, if it was running Chrome OS, I think it's exactly what Google needs to be doing at this stage. It's kind of exciting to see. Usability wise, there's only 4 of them right now, 4 of the apps available. And I mean, as long as they're optimized for a keyboard, a screen that's not a touch screen, and then of course an input device, since it would not necessarily be running on a touch screen. I mean, there are Chrome OS devices like the Chromebook Pixel, or is it the Chrome Pixel? The Pixel from Google, which kind of expensive for what you get. But a lot of people seem to have liked it in the beginning, but it's kind of fallen to the wayside, like a lot of Google's products that they've put out there, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish Google had a better foothold of the consumer marketplace. It's just not what Google does. It isn't necessarily what Google needs to. Remember, as I pointed out in the live stream with the Apple announcements, and I've pointed this out before, it's nothing new. Google's a horizontal player and Apple's a vertical player. And they play in the same space, but 2 completely different business models. And so you got to keep that in mind. This is why I have a very difficult time when I read anything about iOS versus Android or Apple versus Google. I'm like, they're both companies. Yeah. Similar features, with their various products, but completely different reasons to exist. And features, unfortunately, do not sell products. They sell some products. But in terms of value for features in relation to how much that product is going to sell, features don't necessarily sell products anymore. I don't know what else to tell you. Because if features sold products, I guarantee a lot more feature-driven products that had features, not necessarily great features, not necessarily features well implemented, a lot more of those would have sold. But more and more, I think people are, inching their way towards comprehensive experiences in one ecosystem or another, which is frustrating if you want to live in multiple ecosystems, like Microsoft's ecosystem or Apple's ecosystem, Google's ecosystem, Amazon's ecosystem. Different players, different experiences, and hopefully you end up being the winner. IDG I'm reading the headline that I read 5 minutes ago. Sorry about that. I'm doing my best to keep my head focused. This particular presentation behind me will be updated at some point over the next few days. These are the Supernomies. Their pledges should have gone through. Very, very happy to see that we're inching towards 1,000. Just so you know, for the active Supernomies, they will be the first to find out the name and the sex of baby Pirillo outright in an official capacity. They will be the first to know. I'm going to give them that priority, and and I know not everyone's going to be an active one of the Supernomies, but that's a value, right? And so that's probably going to happen at some point tonight. So that you can't say that I told everybody ahead of time. Supernomies will know first. Stephen Hawking and Intel are working together on a connected wheelchair. This is kind of exciting. This is really where the realm of where I enjoy technology. I mean, I enjoy gadgets, and I enjoy... Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to, interrupt the name there. There's the top of the Chromebook. I enjoy that. But when we start talking about technology in relation to improving lives and lifestyles, for Stephen Hawking and Intel to be working together on a device that could potentially be transformative in terms of usability and just quality of life in relation to technology, that's very exciting to me. I would hope that would I ever... be in a wheelchair, that, I would not feel like I was missing out on life. And not to say that people who are in wheelchairs are missing out on life, and I don't think I think they deserve just as much happiness in life as everybody, people who are in wheelchairs. I'm just saying, I have the ability to not be in a wheelchair. But to have a more connected wheelchair, to have a wheelchair that enhances or, increases that life experience for you, I think it's great. And technology's right in there. The geekiest wheelchair I ever saw was, let's see here, I featured it, I think in the other YouTube channel, which is now the vlog channel. I think it was called World's Geekiest Wheelchair, if I'm not mistaken. It was created by the guy, Dean Kamen, who created the Segway. He actually created a wheelchair, but it never had any uptake. But I actually had a live demonstration of this wheelchair, since I know someone who still has this wheelchair, but it's like a wheelchair pro. It's pretty cool. It's imagine if a wheelchair and a Segway had a baby. That's what that wheelchair was. It didn't look like a traditional wheelchair. It looked like a chair that was balanced with the Segway. It was pretty neat. It was really cool. So look for that demonstration. In fact, if you can't find it, mention something. Hopefully someone will link it off to you if I forget to put it in the video's description. Your name could be there. Really easy to do, and it's easy to support this particular growing community. It's also easy to let the screensaver kick in, as long as it does. It's Halloween! This is Halloween. This is Halloween, and I don't have a lot of candy. We give out glowing things for Halloween, but I found these. Star Wars Rebels is coming up in October, and we're starting to see some branded products out there. You know, I collect Vader things. This is new, a purple Vader candy container or treat container. These I've seen before, the orange and the black Darth Vaders. Now, before I continue, apparently, people have been sending me this link, so now, yes, you know I've seen it. It's great. This is awesome. I want to visit this guy's place if I ever can. I don't want to compete at all, but I would love to meet this guy. He has, he's apparently the ultimate Darth Vader collection. He's spent over $284,000 building that ultimate Darth Vader collection. I would love to see it in person. I don't think I'm going to go that far. I mean, I mean, it's fun, it's neat, but I don't want to have the world's leading collection. So do not worry. I think his name's Bill. Do not worry. I'm not going to take over your crown. Although I will say, if you're ever looking to get rid of some things, you possibly toss them over to this side of the pond. Someone, and I don't know who, sent this cap, potentially for baby Pirillo, potentially for my collection, a Darth Vader ball cap. It's definitely for a child because it will not fit on my head. And we also received, by way of, I believe, Sharon? Is it Sharon? Yes, Sharon Gimmick. And we will be featuring her everything that she had sent in an upcoming vlog. She sent me this, a Darth Vader Viewmaster. Ew. It's Anakin Skywalker in there, and I don't like Anakin anymore. That was nice. I also picked this up. This is new this year. The pumpkin is now in the ceramic mug with the Darth Vader head. You can drink out of Darth Vader's head. You can even put, like, monkey brains in here, like in the top. Be like Indiana Jones. You know. Chilled monkey brains. I also got this. Even though it didn't ship in great condition, there's a new Black Series out with new figures. Still waiting for the Jabba's Skiff Guard, which is a new figure for my Jabba, eventual Jabba figure shelf, as well as Mosep Benid, who will be released, I believe, in 2015. This is the new Black Series Darth Vader, not the 6-inch one, which I'm really excited for, but the classic, I guess, 3¼ inch figure. This one is not to be confused. This one is not to be confused with this one. Two completely different Darth Vaders, if you can't tell. This Darth Vader is modeled after the one from Empire Strikes Back, and this one from Episode 3, not exactly my favorite of all the movies, but still two Darth Vaders. This one, unfortunately, is not in amazing condition still. At least I have them in my collection. It'll be staying in the box. Sharon also sent backpacks, two backpacks, one for me, one for baby Pirillo. Oops, sorry, I was holding it upside down there. It's got Darth Vader and some stormtroopers on it. Very, very nice. I did not have one or both of these. I've also finally, Diana, she gave me Biff the other day, or she gave Biff. You guys caught that little play on words. Now I have more Biff. This is the Lego Cantina scene, Mos Eisley Cantina, 616 pieces, and it comes with 3 Biff, which I'm kind of happy about. A Greedo. I've already had a Greedo, the classic Greedo. This is a redo. It's also a newer model Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker here. It's also a new Sand Trooper, and the Biff are completely new. I love the Biff. Although, unfortunately, to have like the complete figure Dan and the modal nodes, I need to get more, 2 more Biff. So then I'll have 5. So here's the commemorative tin collection of the classic figures, right there. Figrin Dan and the modal nodes. They have names. Yes, they do. They have names. Yes, they do. All the Cantina figures are in that cupboard. The Jabba figures are in that cupboard. The product views continue with this. It is a Darth Vader carry case, and it's great for toys or even food, or toys and food inside. You can see there's Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. No! That's not true! And you know, he never, and Dad, did you know that Darth Vader never said, Luke, I am your father? He never said that. He said, no, I am your father. Because he was responding to Luke. Luke said, you know, Obi-Wan told me you killed him, killed his father. He says, no, I am your father. He never actually said Luke is your father. Just in case, we need a rolly case of things that need to be put in a rolly case with baby Pirillo. This was also picked up the other day. $20, really, really nice. You know, I don't expect to be using it immediately, but should the need arise, we now have a Darth Vader bigger case that rolls on wheels. This thing pops out. The wheels on this one don't glow, though. They go round and round, much like the wheels on the bus. Those go round and round. They do. Hey, Dad, can you hand me that box? I got to do a live unboxing here before your live unboxing. Microsoft is testing playing Xbox games in your browser. Don't throw it. What'd you do? Hope you didn't break it. So they're imagine that, playing Xbox games in your browser. That's kind of exciting. I'd like that, if only because I don't have an Xbox. Doctor Who, and this is not exactly new news, Doctor Who is coming to Minecraft on Xbox 360, which is kind of neat if you're a Whovian. And I don't want to talk about any rumors, but apparently there's a huge rumor going around in relation to Minecraft. That's all I'm going to say right now. Most Minecrafters probably already know what I'm talking about, but until it's actual fact, I don't really want to talk about it, but I think it would be an interesting turn, to say the least. Huge rumor in the world of Minecraft. Microsoft is also killing the Nokia and Windows Phone brands. Doesn't surprise me at all. They're going with Lumia for their Windows devices, or I guess their Windows portable devices. It makes sense that they're killing Windows Phone as a brand. They're not killing the Windows Phone. They're just going to call it probably just a phone that has Windows on it, a phone running Windows. And Windows then becomes less of a thing that you run on a traditional desktop or laptop computer, and just Windows. So your phone runs Windows, your TV or your console runs Windows, your desktop runs Windows. You just run Windows. Yes, Dad?
W phone.
No, I don't think W phone would be a good idea. I think, honestly, when we were in the hospital last night with Diana, we were watching, I think it was Conan O'Brien. He says, Conan O'Brien brought up this news. He says, Microsoft's killing off the Windows Phone and Nokia brands. And he says, he says, apparently they're getting, now this is I'm paraphrasing. This is my Conan O'Brien. He said, apparently they're going to get in the mobile space. They want to, and he said that as if they weren't, right? Because no one realizes they're in the mobile space. Yes, to make it succeed, they're going to now call it the Microsoft iPhone. Because, of course, the iPhone was successful and just put... It makes sense to me. I mean, I don't think they're going to do that necessarily. I thought it was pretty funny. Google Voice, still alive. They pushed an update down for iOS across the board. And you now have free voice calls from Hangouts. So Google Voice, still an app, a separate app from Hangouts. I expect that within a year's time, those two will eventually merge. Hangouts will have the voice app. The voice app will disappear, and everything will become one. However, like I said, there was an update pushed down the pike yesterday, which may throw a lot of you who've been using Google Voice. I did kind of off and on, but not like some people did. We've got a list of 5 kitchen gadgets every geek should own, which, you know, or geek who has someone who loves, well, I don't know if Diana loves being in the kitchen, but she definitely uses the kitchen a hell of a lot more than I do, and I appreciate that, because if it wasn't for Diana in the kitchen, and you know what? Someone's in the kitchen with Diana. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. But no one's strumming on an old banjo. They're making dinner tonight, the last supper, before we head off to the hospital tonight. A home-cooked meal, as it were. Microsoft is paying the NFL millions to use Surface. But get this.
Yeah,
so I know they're using it, but the announcers, they were saying, oh, yeah, it looks like it's probably like iPad-like. That's how they described it. They didn't know what the hell it was. Microsoft, it's the guy's using it. It's an iPad-like from Microsoft. How much money, millions if not billions, they're spending on this? And the announcers are calling it an iPad-like. I'm sure Microsoft loves that.
Wasn't Surface out before the iPad came out?
No.
Yeah, because we had one at Nomedex one time.
Okay, the big Surface, yes.
Was out before
yes,
the iPad.
but the Surface is what most consumers know. It is, yeah.
But it's not new to Microsoft.
The brand isn't new to Microsoft. In terms of what most consumers know, iPad just leads the way. That's just the way. I mean, they've got a defining category, and Apple's got to protect that iPad name. Of course, I'm sure they don't mind that the announcers were using iPad-like in relation to the Surface PC, because let's face it, when you've got a leading product, that's what it gets compared against. This is what happens with big brands. That's why Google doesn't like you to say to Google things, because then they lose the value of that trademark. You never want to be in that situation where the action is basically synonymous with a general brand. That's why when people say, "Oh, could you get me a Kleenex?" they may be speaking about tissue paper, not an actual Kleenex, which is a brand.
Or a Xerox.
Or could you Xerox this, as opposed to Xerox the brand? So that's I just thought that you'd like that bit of news, Dad, for you. If you're curious to know some differences between the screens on the iPhone 6, 6 Pro, 6 Plus, that name is horrible. I'm sorry, Apple. What are you, Microsoft? That was eerie. Thanks, Dad. I didn't need a personal soundtrack there. Anyway, there's a great post that I'll link in the video description showing the differences between the sizes, the points on the screen, the pixels on the screen, how they relate to one another. It even show you some potentially dramatic differences in the quality of an image that you're going to see on the iPhone 6 Plus versus the iPhone 6. There's a dramatic difference. PPI is much higher on the 6 Plus. Not just a bigger screen, not just a wider field of view, so to speak, but also sharper. There will likely be sharper images and sharper text on the screen.
So it's not really bigger.
It's bigger.
Better.
It's big. Yes, better in relation to higher PPI and a crisper text. But is it a law of diminishing returns? I don't know. The optical image stabilization would help produce better images, likely with less blur, especially in low light situations, which is one of the probably where I need a steady image the most in a low light situation. So I don't know which one I'm going with yet. I'm honestly probably leaning more towards a 6 than a 6 Plus, or I might try the 6 first and then move to the 6 Plus, because to me, it's still that single hand holding usage model more so than the bigger screen. But ultimately, I almost want to try both. I mean, it'll be a very expensive process for me, but that's kind of the potentially the game plan for going down that path of the iPhone 6. I'm trying to push through every bit of the news. The one thing I want to record today for everybody, my initial thoughts on Apple's watch. That may be the one that I didn't, the Q&A with you and me that I didn't get to do yesterday. I'll be doing that as a separate video for people. Sorry, I'm really discombobulated with the whole everything that's been going on with the birth, and I'm doing my best to try to make everybody happy. But ultimately, the person I got to make happy is Diana. So thank you, everybody, for bearing with me. In Xbox news, I do want to mention this before going off with the last thing that I was going to highlight, the last product review today. Earl Green, one of our supernomies, sent this link that Japan apparently doesn't care about the Xbox. And that really matters a lot. Sold fewer Xbox One games, and I guess Titanfall was one of the drivers behind selling all these consoles, but Japan just does not care. And I think that hurts Microsoft in a pretty big way. Of course, the competition against the Xbox One is the PS4. Microsoft needs all the help they can get. And I honestly, and I don't know if they're going to do this. I have no insight or intelligence behind this, but I can't imagine Microsoft not wanting to discount the Xbox One this holiday season to move units. Honestly. So I'm holding out. I'm going to wait till they're like half off or something like that. And then maybe I'll get the Xbox One. Because right now, why? I'm not a gamer. I casual game. If I did pick up an Xbox One or, even a PS4, it would likely be just to Twitch. Even though I know, you should use a PC, you should use America. I'm a casual gamer. I'm a classic gamer. I don't need that. And apparently I fit in with a lot of the Japanese, which is great. So, last product view of the day. Oh, thank you, Lego Group, for sending me this Lego Star Wars Darth Vader magnet. This is one that I did not have. Pretty good condition for the packaging. Did not have this one. Thank you, Lego. They didn't send this to me. Of course, I bought it. I'm thanking them, and I spent my money on it. I got another bonus Warriors Fire Bike. I showed this the other day, and I actually took it out of the box and had it at the end of one of our vlogs. Shiba, special minifigure. I'm a huge minifigure fan. Now, the reason why I'm showing or got a lot of this stuff is because Lego also released this. It's a classic space minifigure in this nice little box, which I don't know if I'm going to open. This is a collector's item. So this particular white Lego space minifigure, I don't think I have a black space minifigure or a white space minifigure. Out of the box. So this one may stay in the box. This is a collector's item right here. Classic Lego, including like a classic Lego logo. released this year, and this is specifically for LEGO VIP members. Now, something that I am going to be... Sorry, Pixie. Just didn't realize that these figures were sitting out.
Do you want these two things, or is that for the...
Two things. What two things?
There's
more stuff?
2 suitcases over there.
The 2 suitcases are where I'm
okay,
I'm taking that to the hospital. This is out now. A lot of people said, hey, Chris, did you know the LEGO Advent Calendar's out? Do I know? I was one of the first to order it. Why? Well, number 1, it's LEGO. Number 2, it's the Advent Calendar. I love this every year. Number 3, I love these 2 minifigures alone, right here. Love the idea. Look, a Darth Vader Santa. That's the Santa minifig this year. I've got a Yoda one. I've got a Darth Maul one. And then this astromech has, it's a Christmas tree astromech droid right there. Love it. And then a couple of other minifigures throughout, including a Santa-capped stormtrooper there, a snowtrooper back there, Luke Skywalker up there. Who's that? I can't tell what kind of minifigure that is. He looks like a commander of sorts right there. Commander, and then an X-Wing pilot with a nice little gift. Darth Vader Santa Claus. So this is this year's Advent Calendar Star Wars edition. I'm very, very happy about this. Will likely, when it comes to this, I'll be following the 25 days, from December 1st to December 25th, and opening a little container each day, and then showing it off in the TLDR for that day, and then at the end we'll have, it'll be in the vlog and then the TLDRs. But I'm very, very happy to have this. I'll not be doing an immediate unboxing. It'll be a slow but sure unboxing every day. The Star Wars Advent. 24 gifts. I thought it was 25. Now I'm disappointed. Oh, well, Darth Vader in Stormtrooper, I'm sorry, Santa regalia. Can't even talk. That's really all I wanted to cover today, and so, I gave you a little bit more time. Normally it's about a half hour long, but I wanted to stretch it closer to 40 minutes, if only because I did not give everybody a fair time with my time yesterday because of the baby and everything. It was like a minute long, me saying, okay, I'm going to the hospital, that's what it was. And it was true, it was legit. We were there, we were plugged in, we were, doing everything we needed to do, and Diana just wasn't ready. Her body wasn't ready, the baby wasn't ready to come out, and so it just wasn't time. Tonight, though, since we are pretty much on the cusp of 42 weeks, we will be inducing labor, and that's how we're going to play it, because this is the way it goes. Everything's normal, because there's no such thing as normal. Diana's right within the range of where she needs to be. Some people were concerned, what? They're turning her away? What? Why are they sending you home? No, I can't go into all the details. Suffice it to say, no one was making any bad decisions yesterday. So, or at least according to my analysis and intelligence that I was given. So, anyway, I'll put the links for everybody in this video description. I'll be recording 2 other videos today, or we'll be recording 2 other videos today. The Q&A with you and me. One of them is going to be Dad's live unboxing and initial impressions of his first Android tablet, which will be the Asus MemoPad FHD10. The reason why is because I have it in the box still. And then the second video I'm going to do is my separate thoughts on the Apple Watch. What's been going through my mind as I've had a chance to think about it. And I've got a few points of why I think Apple did what they did, where I think they're going with it, just some thoughts around the Apple Watch. So you don't have to ask me my thoughts extensively. I will be pouring them into a video that you would be able to watch. Thanks again to all my super nomies. Thank you to all my nomies out there, and if you're watching this video or you watch this deep, you're one of my nomies. I appreciate the support, whatever, however, whenever you can give it. Thanks again for liking everything that we might be able to do for you, or I might be able to do for you on a daily basis. I do appreciate the support. I think that's about all I needed to say right now. I will, I guess, end it. I'm going to look at the comments here. Greg Schaeffler says, we were at 42 weeks when my wife gave birth. We went swing dancing, and that did the trick. Woo! I don't know how it went. That's kind of how it goes. Diana was. Did you see her? You saw her video. I posted this. She wasn't really walking like this. I just sped it up with hyperlapse. And so she was walking around the hospital and, regular walking or whatever, but I sped it up so it did. But I didn't put the soundtrack in there because I don't have the rights to the soundtrack. See, it's normal. We're just going to induce, and that's the way because believe me, we tried everything. Well, you should do this. You should do this. We tried it all, and none of it worked. We're just going to have to go this route, and I know you shouldn't go that route. Well, I will keep that in mind should you and I ever have a baby together. But right now, Diana and I are having a baby together, and she's really having the baby. I'm window dressing. I'd get her ice. I'm the ice boy. I'm the water boy for Diana tonight. That's the way it's going to do. Ryan Bragg says, Chris, make sure to plug your phone in Indeed. Oh, thank you. I mentioned, I said, someone remind me that I got to plug the phone in because I didn't want, where the hell did I put my phone? Dude, I did I move from this spot? Where did I put the phone? Dad, do you see the phone anywhere?
Not yet. Did you bring it up here?
Yeah, I brought it up here. I was showing it to... Did you guys see where I put my phone? I'm not kidding. Did it fall? Is it over there? Is it in the thing? Did it fall off? Did I put it in the... Okay, I'm gonna find the phone and plug it in then, I guess. What the hell did I... It's not in my pocket. Where did I put the phone? Okay, it's here somewhere. I should stop the video now. Thank you for reminding me, Ryan. I will. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices, assuming I can find mine.